Hello and welcome to weeks 3 and 4 of build season. In the last video, you got a sneak peek at the beginning stages of our robot, and now we'll show you the progress we've made. Let's go take a look.
This week, we're gonna get this robot moving. We made the decision to do swerve. I think it'll be a big challenge for us, but we can do it. What do you think, Matt?
I think that, so far everything we've done has gone well. I think that the pace we're going at is good for the new challenge. I think if we're going to do it any year, I think this year's pace and this year's kind of tools we have, this is a great year this is the greatest chance that we have to do it.
So for this week, we have gone further in depth with the ball path mechanism. We originally started with the escalator and the roller claw, but have now decided to go with the escalator.
So the difference between the escalator and the roller claw was just basically how we intaked and scored it. So the roller claw mounted in the middle of our drive base and was a little bit elevated. And so it was an entire arm that rotated around a pivot. And it had two sort of scoring wheels that sucked in the ball below our over our bumper. And then it would rotate so it could aim for the hubs. Whereas the escalator had an over-the-bumper intake that was pneumatically actuated, and it just sort of like scooped up the balls. And then it just took them up a ramp using belts, and it just scored it and like plopped it in that way. So our voting came down to which one we wanted to do. So both prototypes seemed promising. Both showed the ability to score very well. And so the big decision was whether we do the sort of more complicated roller claw or the simpler, but a little less cool and a little less overachieving escalator. And so we ended up choosing the escalator just because it worked well, or worked better with the hanging mechanism we had decided. That was a little bit more clear-cut of a vote because initially it was pretty split between roller claw and escalator, and actually flip-flopped the second round of voting. But we were pretty indecisive, but we ended up landing on escalator just because it works pretty well, and it sort of integrates itself with the hanging mechanism very well.
In the beginning of the week, we had 6 prototypes that we started with. By the end of the week, we actually dwindled that down to 2. We had the telescoping arm and the roto climber.
The telescope is a idea we had for the hangar, where there's a pivoting telescope and 2 pairs of stationary arms. The idea was that the telescope would go up and grab the bar and bring it down to the 2 stationary arms, and then pivot out of the way and go to the next one, and then it would pull it up and continue the process until we get to the traversal. The other one, the roto climb, which was a series of rotating arms where it would go up, grab the first bar, and then spin to the second one, and then continue spinning up until the traversal. And it would have hooks that rotate out of the way so it can get off the bars. The decision between the two was whether we should use the roto climb or the telescopic arm. And the main determining factor between the two was how easy it was to build, how quick it was to build, and how easy it would be to repair. A telescope generally is really hard to repair and takes a lot of time and isn't easy to build compared to like 2 arms, which is why we went with the roto climb.
And that is the end of the video for weeks 3 and 4 of the build season. Do you guys have anything to say?
We've been experiencing some setbacks recently, but we'll come back stronger than ever.
All right, stay tuned for next week's vlog.